Hello, I'm Jonathan Brown with Bethel Farms. I'm here today to talk with you a little bit about plugs and repairing your yard, or either going in and doing a whole section of your yard with plugs, grass plugs. One of the questions that we get asked a lot is, why wouldn't I just cut up pieces of sod and put them out there as opposed to buying the trays? The difference is that sod is cut out of the field, so you can see the whole root structure has all been cut off. Yeah, you got the green top and everything, so it takes a pretty good bit of water to get it going and get it off the ground. The other thing is, when you generally use sod, it's a little more expensive than going with the trays to do a repair for a small area. It's light, easy to handle, and really the whole process of installation is very simple. When you get a plug, on the other hand, as you can see, there's already established roots. So it's basically like getting a mini plant like you would put in your shrubs or your hedges or something like that, where once you put it in there, it will hold moisture and it already has roots established, so it doesn't go through quite the shock that sod goes through. The big question is, how far apart? Well, it's really a matter of preference. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm a little OCD, so I kind of fix up some tape on a bar where I can set them out there, and that just gives me a mark where I can put them. This particular piece of pipe is set up on 18-inch center. Generally, you'll go from 12 to 18 inches center is about what you want. If you wanted to go 15, all you'd have to do is come to the inside of these. As you can see, these plugs are 3 inches across, so it's the same width basically as what my tape is that I've got marked here. So if you wanted to move to the inside, that'd give you 15 inches. If you want to go 18, a full 18, you just mark it just like that. Okay, so we've decided that I'm going to go 18 inches on center, putting my plugs in the small area that I want to fill in. All I have to do is just put a little mark, in the middle of every one of these taped places, and then I can just move my stick down from there. Really not anything super technical. I'll come back in. You're going to have a number of ways that you can make the hole to put the plug in, but the whole idea is to get that plug, get a nice hole where you can put it down in there and then let it grow from there. Okay, so now we've got some spots here marked where we're going to be putting trays in, and the question is, how are we going to make the hole? So there's a number of choices out there. This is one of the older ways of doing it. Some of these are still hanging loose out there on the marketplace. It's just a small square that you would go in and push that down, and it'll pull the plug out, and it'll actually fit perfectly, as you can see, over the bottom of the plug. So it would just slide right in the hole. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it, I like power. So I just as soon do it with power. I can stand up when all of them are marked, and it's just simply putting that in the center of the mark, drilling it out. As you can see, there's good moisture in the ground. And then all I've got to do is set that down in there, fill the dirt around it after I get my fertilizer in it. Okay, as you can see here, we've got a few holes dug, so we're ready to start putting the plants in there. Well, the first thing we need to do is make sure that the plug has enough nutrients there to feed it, to help it go ahead and grow and fill in. So basically, these runners here, these stolons, are going to run across the top of the ground, and when they grow together, you'll have a complete area. It'll all be filled in. What we've done is I just kind of pulled a little simple deal together here. This is a controlled release fertilizer, or a lot of people call them CRF. This is a starter fertilizer that you can get at most of your retail outlets for lawn maintenance. Any of the smaller ones, or your big box stores also carry quite a few starter fertilizers. But basically, you've got the holes dug, and you just really want a teaspoon scattered around down in the bottom of the hole. And once you put those plugs in there, you kind of want to look at it, because you don't want the dirt way up here, but then you don't want it sitting on the top of the ground. So you kind of fill it in so that is even with the top of the ground around it. And then Once you get it put in the ground, you just kind of pack it in. You can actually step on it with your foot to press it in good to try to get any of the air pockets out. Once you get them in here like this, you're going to water everything. Obviously, you'll want to do the whole area at one time, but I wouldn't wait till tomorrow, say, if you don't get it all done in one day. Whatever you have in that day, certainly get them watered. You want to water to where your moisture is meeting from the very top all the way down to about 8 inches. Hope you have success, have fun, and do as big an area as you want to. Thank you.